What drives India's foreign policy? India's foreign policy is shaped by its strategic goals, national interests, and the changing dynamics of global geopolitics. As the world's largest democracy, India navigates its external relations with a focus on securing economic growth, national security, and regional stability. The core principles include non-alignment, multilateralism, and strategic autonomy. How does India balance relations with global powers? India maintains a delicate balancing act in its relations with major powers, including the United States, Russia, and China. With the US, India shares strong ties in defense, trade, and regional security, especially in the Indo-Pacific. The Russia-India relationship remains important due to defense and energy cooperation, but India is also aligning with the West in response to global challenges like climate change and technology. However, India's relationship with China is complex, marked by competition, border disputes, and economic interdependence. What role does India play in regional stability? India plays a pivotal role in maintaining stability in South Asia. It has strategic partnerships with key neighbors like Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and the Maldives. However, tensions with Pakistan persist, particularly over the Kashmir dispute. India's engagement in Afghanistan, especially post-Taliban resurgence, reflects its efforts to maintain regional influence while managing its security concerns. How does India tackle global challenges? India has positioned itself as a key player in addressing global challenges such as climate change, terrorism, and the evolving energy crisis. India has been vocal in advocating for reforms in global governance institutions like the United Nations Security Council (UNSC), pushing for greater representation of developing countries. How does India engage with the Global South? India continues to strengthen its ties with the Global South through initiatives like the India-Africa Forum Summit and the India-ASEAN Cooperation. These engagements focus on trade, technology sharing, and support for sustainable development, aligning with India's ambitions to be a leader in the developing world. Recent shifts. What is India's response to China and the US? Recent developments, particularly China's growing assertiveness in the Indo-Pacific, have prompted India to deepen its engagement with the Quad, a strategic grouping with the US, Japan, and Australia, to counter China's influence. Additionally, the growing Russia-Ukraine conflict and energy supply disruptions have highlighted India's pragmatic foreign policy, maintaining energy security through Russian imports while continuing to align with Western democracies on several global fronts. Is India's strategic autonomy at risk? India's strategic autonomy, once a hallmark of its foreign policy, faces challenges as it strengthens alliances with Western powers while managing its long-standing ties with Russia and China. The balancing act between economic interests, security concerns, and ideological values is becoming increasingly complex, particularly with the rise of multipolarity and the shift in global power dynamics. What lies ahead for India's foreign policy? India's foreign policy will continue to evolve in response to changing global circumstances. It will increasingly focus on safeguarding its strategic interests, asserting its position in global governance, and fostering economic growth through international cooperation. The next phase of India's foreign policy will likely be characterized by deeper engagement in the Indo-Pacific, a more pronounced role in global climate policy, and continued efforts to strengthen its ties with both old and new partners. India's journey on the global stage reflects its aspirations to be a major player in the 21st century. How effectively it manages its relations with global powers, regional neighbors, and emerging threats will define its future in global diplomacy. As we wrap up, here is a question for you. How should India balance its strategic autonomy while deepening alliances with major global powers? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.